Pauri 24.
अंत न सिफती कहणी न अंत, अंत न करणे देणी न अंत, अंत न वेखणी सुनी न अंत, अंत न जापे किया मनी अंत, अंत न जापे कीता आकार, अंत न जापे पारावार, अंत कारणी केते बिल्लाही, ताके अंत न पाए जाही, एह अंत न जाने कोई, बहुता कहिए पौता होई, वड्डा साहिब उच्चा थाऊ, ऊंचे ऊपरी ऊंचा नाऊ, एवडू ऊंचा होवे कोई, तिस ऊंचे कऊ जाने सोई, जेवडू आपे जाने आपे आपे, नानक नदरी करमी दाते.
Explanation. The Pauri in general depicts that virtues of the God are beyond comprehension. In the same way, inner divine virtues of the man of self-realization are limitless. Qualities or praises of the Almighty are countless. His virtues or glories are infinite and beyond expressions and the countable numbers. There is no end of His creation, and His blessings, gifts and grace on His creations are beyond comprehension. Even just by observing and listening, one cannot comprehend His boundless qualities of creation and virtues of His nature. It is not possible what the Almighty has stored within Himself for the welfare of His creation or universe. His limitless sight and endless listening and infinite mental capabilities are not within comprehension. His direction and approach are mysterious. One or the finite cannot approach the depth of Almighty or infinite to visualize or conceive the mystery stored in the core of timeless and omnipresent Almighty. Unfathomable is the extent of His creation and unknowable is the boundary of Almighty for an individual. It is impossible to conceive the horizon of His creation. The width and depth of His endless creation cannot be imagined. People have been trying from generations to estimate the boundary and expanse of His creation, but so far no one could succeed to disclose this mystery and even move an iota in this direction. All those who tried and vexed to know Him were disgusted or disappointed but could not get an end to Him. His endless glory cannot be listed. More and more, if one puts his efforts in this direction to probe the greatness of His glory goes on increasing multifold. His greatness is expanding as one tries to be close to the virtues of His glories. His creation is expanding every moment. In other words, as one manifests his imagination about the virtues of Almighty, he seems to expand His virtues, and the finite creature finds himself more away and away from his imagination or concept of Almighty. More one describes Him, much more He is found to be unfound. God's or His existence is the unidentified mysterious mystery of the cosmos, since He Himself is the supreme cosmic light. Almighty is Himself the greatest and His position is supreme. His name is still on a much higher platform in comparison to His position. He is exalted, but higher than Him is His exalted name. The status of His name in His glory is much higher than the status of Almighty. It is clear that by reciting the name of Almighty and getting merged in the name of His glory, the status of devotee is uplifted and he becomes as perfect as God in divine virtues. Under these conditions there remains no difference between God and His devotee. Both become the same and merge in each other. Furthermore, love for the Almighty is on the highest plane than that of His name and formless form of Almighty. The intrinsic love of devotees towards God places Him on the highest pedestal of spirituality, and nothing is greater than this position in His creation. Anyone who is really in a higher position than Him can visualize the greatness of Almighty and importance of love and intrinsic value of a devotee and the divine virtues cultivated in devotees by Him. Since no one is greater than Almighty, so only He knows His own greatness and supremacy. In essence, His majesty only He alone knows. Guru Nanak Ji says that by the blessings of Almighty, one gets a divine gift of His name, that is chanting of His glory, which raises the devotee to much higher level than the Almighty Himself. By one's own efforts, there is insignificant gain, however what one really achieves is what Almighty desires. Without His will, one gets no knowledge, no gains and no achievements in life. With one's own intelligence, no divine knowledge can be cultivated. The knowledge to an individual is by His grace, and it is a divine gift. In fact, by His grace and bounty is what one may know. The intrinsic meaning of this Pauri is full of mystery. It means that the man of self-realization, who is merged in divine glory, develops limitless divinity and divine virtues. He develops the miraculous power of visualization by his developed intuition. His mental capabilities are enhanced. His imagination has no boundaries. It is difficult to estimate his capabilities and inner development. His developed capabilities really surprise others. Only other self-realized souls could understand him. For an ordinary human being, his actions and inbuilt divine capabilities are full of mystery. Still, he considers himself with humility and no egoism is seen in him. From heart to heart, he only knows it is divine grace and divine powers, which have developed in him by virtue of mergence in divine glory in deep meditation as a result of self-realization by his grace. He is intrinsically clear that the grace of Almighty is operating through him, and it is His blessing only.